Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. All right, everybody. Slight warning for this podcast. This is probably going to be one of the most feralest, unhinged podcast episodes ever, as we are joining with two very lovely ladies.
Yay!
That are going to be on our podcast with us. So be prepared. This could get wild.
Absolutely no apologies for pheromonous behavior in advance.
Exactly.
And that would be Mika.
That would be Mika. And we also have Lilith. Now, you both have chose to not be shown on video. So
We
for
understand.
those at home watching on YouTube, sorry, you are not able to see them.
They're beautiful, though.
However, if you come to Club Tempted or LNK events, you are more than likely going to bump into them. They are very active in both, and they are here for this episode. We're going to get to know them a little bit, but they are basically going to help Lady Dee talk about the classes.
He punted that ball right
He's
to me.
already-
You see
yep.
that?
Yes, so we did attend the AFK, Afraid Not Self-tying Summit.
Yes.
It was their 3-day event. We have done the episode on the performances.
Which you need to go back and see if you want to get introduced to all of the teachers and performers.
Absolutely. And so today we're going to talk about the classes that were taught on Saturday and Sunday. And unfortunately, Lady Dee and myself was not able to attend Sunday.
And
So-
Master Nick never self-tied, in case you were wondering.
Yeah. So I'm going to treat this podcast just like I did for the Self-tying Summit. You're probably going to see me kick back, my feet propped
No,
up,
sir.
scrolling on my phone.
Master Nick has to be actively involved because this is the Dom Life
Sometimes
podcast.
a no sir is warranted.
So let's get right into it with Lilith and Mika. Now, it is highlighted here on our notes. If you see one, you're going to see the other.
Pretty much.
They are pretty much,
90% of the time.
We just go
We
together.
just
Yes.
do.
so it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal if you do ever get to meet them. And they are a ball of fun. I gotta tell you, it's always a blast around them. I just got to make sure Lady Dee stays away from Mika for very long periods of time, because she really
Excuse me.
starts acting up and acting out.
Oh, yeah.
occasionally.
There was a whole conversation about a veto button during contract negotiation. We need a veto button. That doesn't work.
Yep.
Veto.
Let's see here. So we met both of you all through Club Tempted, which is where we attend quite frequently.
Yes.
And only here recently, within the last year, been dealing with LNK and doing some of their events. But you all are very active in the LNK community as well, doing a lot of classes, a lot of sloshes. Well, they don't do sloshes. They do cocktails and conversations and
Still a
stuff.
slosh.
It's still a slosh.
Right.
That's just their
They just don't
title.
call
What
it
they
a
call
slosh.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you do a lot of the tying
The
activities.
Afraid Not events.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you all are both fairly proficient with rope. You do your own harnesses. You tie each other harnesses.
I am not proficient, but guess what? I'm learning.
Yes,
That's the point, right?
Yes. Mika's definitely done rope way longer than me, but I am very happy to be where I am in my journey. I'm very more confident in my skills, and of course, learning from her and seeing everything at the tying summit made me just want to do it more.
Right.
Right.
That's the way I
It's-
felt too.
Yeah, it started as self-tying can be a little frustrating sometimes. I have a lot of chest that I can't see past. So if I want to tie hip harnesses or anything like that, it gets very frustrating, even in a mirror. So when we first got together, it was a lot of wanting to tie on her. She was like, oh, I'll bottom for you anytime. And then it turned into wanting to learn a little bit more. And then I bought her first rope kit for her birthday this year.
Yeah, my
Yay.
signature color, of course, purple.
Yeah.
Her rope is purple and mine is pink.
Yes.
So,
Well, you come to the club, Mika, and you tie people a lot where you're like, hey, do you want a harness? Hey, do you want to? And
It's
even
fun
in
for
Club
me,
Tempted,
yeah.
they really enjoy having that as well.
and there definitely is suspension worthy harnesses, and that's, whatever's in your risk profile to suspend from. But then there are also just harnesses for fashion and for funsies.
Yeah.
And Lilith took me to my first time at the club at Club Tempted. She took me there for my first time, and I took her to her first kink event.
Yeah.
So we
like,
kind of got each other
traded,
into
yeah.
our first.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
now I just can't even remember a time when you guys weren't together. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's just that's how close and how, So what is your relationship? How do you define your roles, your relationship?
If you go to FetLife Kinktionary, there is a relationship definition there called queer platonic partners. It's a mouthful, so we just typically call each other partners, but basically we are each other's like life partners. We don't like love each other romantically, but we're there for each other.
Everything.
Yeah, like I mean,
There's a very deep love, and we do a lot of our life things and life decisions and such like that you would in a relationship together. We just don't feel romantically for each other.
That's awesome. I totally would have liked that in my life when I was younger. Not that I don't want it now. It's just hard because I have Master Nick, and he takes a lot of my time, energy, and love.
Your husband won't let you have a girlfriend.
I know.
I'm all good as long as I get to watch. I'm good with it.
We started the other way, so now she gets approval over anybody I'm seeing. She holds on to it tightly.
I very much do. Yeah, they gotta
Very
earn that
tightly.
approval.
Well, and that's good because, sometimes you make bad choices in your life, but if there's somebody on the outside of it might be looking at it a little bit different than you. You're like in awe. Oh my gosh,
The other person doesn't have those feelings involved. You can have deep feelings for somebody and know they're wrong for you, but you still have that deep feeling. So having somebody that you trust, somebody that is a life partner to you, to say, hey, you really need to stop and look at this. Yeah, that I could see that being a
We're
good
very
thing.
protective of each other.
Oh, yes. We have each other's locations. We debrief after everything on the car on the way home. If I know the person she's going on a date with, I'm texting him, this is what she likes, kind of thing.
Right.
She's already threatened to get me in trouble.
There's a lot of people in this world that wants that kind of a friendship relationship, because it's not just a friendship. It's not like a best friend. It's a relationship.
Yes.
I haven't met other best friends that shower together.
Listen, we do.
Okay, I'm just saying, if you were able to see them, you'd be like, oh, that would be a fun. Can
are
you
pictures
wash
on
each
Fet.
other's, please?
There are photos on Fet.
I mean, it may not be that you guys are romantically involved, but people can imagine it. I mean,
Yeah, we get accused of lesbian allegations.
Oh,
all the
the
time.
time. And we don't fight a single lesbian
No.
allegation.
it's always a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
So, BDSM. All right. Obviously, you guys are actively involved
Yes.
in all of it, basically. So, Lilith, what is your role in BDSM?
I would consider myself, like, as of now, a sub-leaning switch. I definitely am a masochist. I've been called by several people now.
I made it a
pain
point
slut.
of saying that. I made it a point of saying that yesterday. I'm like, don't even lie. I've seen what it takes to redden your butt.
I think you
Listen,
need a
I'm
collar
just
that
very
says pain
cold.
slut. I would advocate for that. I would put it on you.
I don't know what it is. As I've done my journey more, I do realize I really am a masochist. I probably am more of a sadomasochist because I love to watch people be in pain as much as I am in pain.
Really?
Yeah, it makes me giddy.
Every time I wince receiving impact, she giggles and laughs, and we make faces at each other. We take turns swapping on the bench, and we've gotten in trouble for making each other laugh while on the bench, because if we can see each other, the top is always like, what's going on over here? And we're just looking at each other and giggling.
Well, the first interaction with Dante and Master Nick, when Dante switched up and was using implements on me, and I was laughing and giggling, he literally stopped, looked at Master Nick, and said, "How am I supposed to handle this? Like, I'm not sure."
And your laugh is great. It
Oh.
reverberates like
And
it
it's
is.
that was something that was hard for me to accept at first. I mean, this is supposed to be, erotic and fun, and you hear Lady Dee, kind of laughing her ass off. The first few times it happened to me, it was a big. It was like she was shooting my ego out of the sky, and I was coming in for a crash landing.
Do you consider yourself
But-
sadistic?
I have sadistic traits.
Okay.
I do like to inflict pain, but only if the person
it's
I'm doing
wanted.
it, if it is wanted. Yes,
Because-
I would not want to inflict pain on somebody that doesn't want pain.
Right. Because when I see somebody giggling, if I choose to top them, my head goes, "Oh, are you laughing? Does this not hurt enough? Should I
Okay,
go
Mika.
harder?"
Should I go harder on your cold ass?
Right. But for Lady D, her giggle is she's getting into her headspace.
Oh yeah.
That's where in her feel good, safe zone where now she's free to float and go do. She'll have these giggles, and it took a while to get used to it. But yes, I do see your point as well. If I'm in a deep with a scene with somebody and they're laughing and giggling, and it's not that I know they're in their head, they're just laughing to be
Right.
laughing.
Oh, then you're going
yeah,
to get a little
then
bit.
it's going to
Yeah.
get harder and heavier and faster.
Oh, yeah, because the
It
goal
just-
is not to make somebody laugh.
It's a challenge, though.
It is. But
Right.
thankfully, in our world, that is not a challenge.
You two have your thing, though. You have your rhythm.
Right.
It's
Yes.
a different.
Right.
And when I really feel pain and I'm not, it's like if it hurts me, I will laugh. If it hurts me, there's something in my brain that just triggers a laugh, which isn't good, but that's
Yes.
part of.
That's how I am with electro and rope. It's very different from how I receive pain and impact. When I'm in rope and I'm in pain, I just laugh. And I'm like, this is really weird. And it's obviously a very different pain, but people are like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm just laughing. Like my body looks like I'm convulsing, but no, I'm just laughing and enjoying the pain of the rope.
And she's done pretty sadistic predicament rope, too.
Really.
I have not. So the next thing I need to be tied. Like I need to have a session where I'm.
Mika's over
Luckily-
here waving her down. right here.
Luckily, we know somebody who's very good, way past my expertise level, which is not expertise. I'm novice level. So yeah, I'm interested. We've talked about it before that I really want to feel that, but I need to work individually one-on-one with somebody because of historic trauma, about being pinned down and being restrained. Master Nick and I have worked through a lot of that individually together, but to have somebody do it, I have to make sure that I'm okay. Plus my joints are a little bit old. So you have to be careful in positioning because I can't maintain certain I mean, obviously I'm sitting with my legs crossed, so I have flexibility, but there's certain positions that would become painful, I think. So that's why I said I need somebody one-on-one one day. We'll have
And
to.
rope is made for bodies. Bodies are not made for rope. The rope is there to fit your body and wherever you're at, and with whatever condition that you have, your body should not fit into the rope. You shouldn't extend your body in certain ways that are uncomfortable or painful, in ways that you don't want, that would injure you long term.
Right.
The rope is for you and your body, and anybody can tie.
We have a hard point right up there,
I've
middle
got
of the
several
thing.
hard points.
But we have one right there.
Yep.
We have them along that wall, but we've got it right there
Yep,
in
we
the
got
middle
one
of the
right there in
room.
center of the
Should have
room.
brought my gear.
I mean, I might have. I don't have anything. I have rope.
Yeah,
That's it.
rope.
I'm not in a point where.
Nope.
So, what is your role?
I
What would
consider myself a sub. I
Okay.
do not consider myself a switch, even.
even
But
though
I-
you'd play top sometimes to people?
Yes,
to
so-
you, it's not a.
Yes. So to me, I do occasionally top for certain activities. I don't top for any power exchange. I don't top for any kind of dynamic. I do not want to be in charge. And I don't access any kind of top or dom headspace. For me, I'm constantly thinking about, oh my gosh, as a sub, what would I want next? And what do I do next? I don't access any kind of like flow of the scene, planning a scene. That's not for me, but I do enjoy participating in the activities.
Okay.
And I'm also very gay. If there's a woman face down, ass up on a bench, I'm gonna want to beat her ass. I'm in. You know what I mean? But for me, and I am autistic, so I enjoy the methodical ways of participating in activities from start to finish. And these are the tools, and these are how you use it, which is also part of why I do enjoy rope. But I'm a sub and a little.
Okay.
So
So
is
we
me.
have been wanting to have a little on.
Mhm.
Have you had a dom that's like daddy dom, or is it a mommy dom? Like if it were a female, I don't know what it's called when
Yep.
you do that. Have you had that experience?
I've had. I entered into kink in 2016, so I've been doing this for about 8 or 9 years now.
You don't look old enough. I'm just saying.
I don't look old enough.
Which is why she's perfect for a little.
and I'm dressed in all pink. I started college when I was 16. So I was out and I was living on my own. I wasn't living at home anymore. So I started into adulthood, quote unquote, very young. And that's more of where it started. And I entered into all of kink through Little Space and through being a little, and everything else came from there. So I even remember the first time, I think I was 17, the first time somebody choked me, I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if this is for me. And now I fully want to be choke slammed into walls and beds and all of that. So it took many years to get to this point.
I think we'll just talk about AFK on a completely different episode. I'm just saying, because this is like truly
There's a lot
so
of
much
room
fun. You guys are
for
so much fun.
growth. Yeah, there's a lot of room for growth in kink. And I have had dynamics in the past. I have not been in a dynamic. So I've been a free flowing or a single sub for about 5 years now.
Okay.
The last dynamic I was in ended pretty poorly because he was not a dom.
Okay.
And I guess he was trying it out and it wasn't for him. So he ended it pretty poorly on his part. And for me, it made me very cautious going forward. So I've been very active and participant in kink and in the scene and participating in kink. But I'm very cautious how I vet doms going forward. I'm currently vetting somebody and in considering
We are
stages.
vetting somebody.
We are vetting somebody. She's still holding out on his approval. Just made it been very clear, and she's already talking about how she wants to get me in trouble if I end up in a dynamic with this person.
Oh,
if
yes.
I choose to move forward.
There will definitely be Lilith trouble coming.
I
we
may
know.
not mean to do it, but
Yes, you do.
Oh, you
And
guys.
you're not sorry either.
I'm not. No, you would not be sorry if you did it to me.
I would get her in trouble.
Yeah, on purpose.
You get people in trouble already.
All the time.
I mean,
and I'm not even a brat. I'm a good girl. So I like
Very
to
sassy.
hold on. Yes, so
Wow.
I am sassy. I'm a good girl. I like rules. I like structure, and I will never break a rule. And I'm only sassy up until the point that I get pushback. And I think brats like to go to the pushback and go further
Okay, I
and
could agree
maybe
with that.
break a rule or even bend it until it's almost broken, but not quite. And I only go up until the pushback, but I like to see the reactions. So
Right.
I get my fellow friend subs to do all the bratting that I don't want to do.
And,
You push
know,
their
I
buttons
think
further.
that's
I don't want to.
because you're a little. Because,
Yeah.
you know, when you have certain natures inside, it has a tendency to cause you to have different boundaries. Being a little means you want the approval.
Yes, I
not-
like the safety and the security of
Right.
a dom.
So
And I
why would
do-
you push them to the point where they're
I don't want to be in
truly
trouble. I don't want punishments.
Right.
Yeah, I like to do all of the things that are harsher in kink because I chose to and because we're going to, not because it's a punishment. I don't want negative connotation to certain things like impact or things like that.
It's
Right.
very interesting. We talk about how our family backgrounds are different
Oh
and
my
like our
gosh.
mindsets going into kink so different.
when you started, the reason you did it was different.
I'm considerably like a baby. I've really only been into kink probably like 2 years now. And
We've known you the whole time
yeah,
that you've been in kink
yeah,
then.
I'm like,
Because-
we met you through Club Tempted. I was a member there from the beginning. got into what I thought was a quote unquote kinky relationship. This man was not kinky at all. Not
It's
There's
funny.
kinky and there's freaky.
Right.
It wasn't, I don't know. It ended poorly. Literally, the first time I went back to Club Tempted as a single and got on the bench, we did impact and my ass was bleeding. Like, I went head first into like catching up on my kink journey. And now, as you can see, I've seen my butt before and how bruised and
And we're very different because Lilith went straight into kink, I think not through impact, but using impact as kind of to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually didn't do my very first impact scene until about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, excuse me, I was physically abused as a child. No man or woman will ever hit me. And it took me 6.5, 7 years of being into kink to finally do it. And we met right around that time.
Mm-hmm.
So we met when she had already been a few months in and still hadn't been to kink events. So she was like, oh, I'm kinky. I'm on FetLife. We met through there and through some mutual friends. And she was balls to the wall with impact. And I've seen somebody use a vampire paddle on her and we hold hands through our like finishing hits.
Mm-hmm.
So we're holding hands and somebody hit her with a vampire paddle until blood splashed on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I've been into kink for quite a while and I do know quite a bit because I like to research and to know why things are the way that they are. And I've never done that.
Right. Well, the vampire paddle is one of my favorite implements.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so strange because when I bought it, Master Nick.
I laughed. I was like, when are we ever going to use this damn thing? You're out of your damn mind.
Oh my God. And
I
you're the
love
only one
them.
that's ever hit me with one. I still haven't used it. You're so giddy.
But it was like, and it was not,
It's scarier. It looks scarier than it is.
when it hits you, there's a little rush, like a rush from it.
I thought it would feel like 10,000 needles or something,
No.
and it didn't.
And then all of a sudden you're bleeding and you've
Yeah.
got these really cool marks.
Little marks.
Like,
Freckles on your butt.
Yes, no, that vampire paddle was probably like 3 or 4 inches thick, but it had like rows of teeny tiny teeth all the way down.
oh.
And it literally looked like my ass had freckles.
And
like,
it was like stained with blood. Like,
yeah.
it was, pretty
crazy.
blood
And
bonded
then-
at that point.
Yeah.
We've had to I started bringing a towel when we're going to play so that because I don't want to mess up any of the Club Tempted stuff. I don't want I'm not
Yes.
transferring my blood to the
yeah.
whole world. So it's the last thing he does is hit me a couple of times with the vampire paddle. And then I lay down a towel
Yep.
that I can sit on so that I'm not trying to not get blood on anything.
Yeah.
Yep. And she's blood bonded one of my paddles. That's fabric. It's not even.
Is it was that the one that there was one that was in use that had fur on
yeah,
it?
it was like a
It's fur.
Yeah,
it's a
like
fur glove,
but
that
it
has
has little
vampire spikes
yeah.
inside.
And you
of
don't
it.
even notice
No.
that
So
it's,
they were doing one hit and I was doing one hit. And I didn't know that there was blood everywhere. So I'm beating the shit out of her ass. And I went, why is this gray paddle dark red?
and I find it interesting that you don't consider yourself dominant in any way or this. It's just, hey, an ass
No.
is in the air. I'm going to hit
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to participate in the activities, you know?
I do
I just
understand
want to
that
do
too.
the activity. I don't want to top for the headspace and I don't want to top for the power exchange,
And
if that makes
obviously
sense.
with us, like, you know what I like as a bottom.
We
You've
know-
seen. So like
And I
it's-
have coached people through it. Do it fucking harder.
Yes,
I've
so,
seen
like-
men baseball swing implements, and she still is like,
She just is calm, cool, collected. She's getting hit and she's kind of like looking over like, oh,
I
okay.
do have to admit, it's really fun when I'm in front of the dungeon window and somebody's baseball swinging the flogger, and I can just perch my head on my hands and willy-nilly smile at the people looking on.
Because they're thinking, what the heck? Yeah.
And
There's
I'm just like, la 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 la
we
la.
have to explain
that's what your brain is
sometime.
saying.
La, 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 la. That is awesome. I was lucky enough to be able to play one night with both of you, right? And I was able to do impact, and we took a picture afterwards where I was sitting there with a big grin on my face because I was like, "How nice is this?" Like both of your asses are sitting here like marked. I'm like, "That's the kind of night, you know." Like this is the world we live in, and for all you are out there that aren't actively involved, we feel bad for you because
Truly. And I really was too young to be involved in the local scene when I was first getting into kink. So Louisville is actually the first in-person local scene that I have been involved in. And I can't even imagine how I survived life before getting to go to
Right.
kink events and wearing like collars and leashes out in public. And I'm not currently collared, but I bought my own pink collar and restraint and leash set because I didn't
Yay.
want to wait for a dom
Right.
to get
Plus,
my
you
own
can
things.
put that on and we can walk you around. You've got enough friends that aren't going to
Exactly.
collar you.
I tried to give Lilith the handle of my leash, and it's pink one time, and she said, "This is too much power.
It's too
I
much
can't
power."
do it."
And I'm like, "Ah!"
Well, we got to do a scene at the AFK event.
At the play party, yeah.
At the play party the first night. And that is, so I have done impact scenes with Chris. And there was another gentleman that I've done it with, and I've done it to some women as Master Nick, and I kind of jump in and do some impact as well and some sensory while he's doing it. But we had done a scene, and you just had asked me in advance, and I was like, well, what do you mean? Because you just said, hey, can we do a scene? And I was thinking, what are you looking for? Me doing impact, you doing impact, rope, what are we doing? And you said, I'd like you to do impact. So we had done that. It was the first time, and I've played with Chris, Milady K. I've done impact, but it was the first time I really hit dom space in a way that I had as a top. I get it. I'm not dominating you, but there was a whole, like the whole flow of it in my
The
head.
headspace.
And I hit it. I hit dom space in my head to the point where I was not paying attention to my body overheating. I was so into it in terms of picking up implements, knowing where I'm going next, knowing what to touch. It brought me to the point where once we stopped, I'm like, I got it. I'll clean. You go, because there's a separate area in the den that you can aftercare room, which is amazing. And you kind of left there, and I'm like, I got it. I'll take care of it. And about 3 or 4 minutes into cleaning, I started feeling dizzy. I was like, I got to get my stuff picked up because I'm like feeling the heat, the sweat dripping down. Master Nick was watching me very closely. But I was like, didn't even realize how overheated I had gotten. And then I went to stand in front of the air conditioning. I couldn't handle it. It was too cold because it's directly on you. So we ended up having to cut our night short because I overheated myself. But it was fun.
How did dom space feel for you mentally? What was that experience?
I was hyper focused on your responses, your movements, your everything, right? So that to me was
And you left a big old bruise on top of an existing one.
I did. How lucky was that? Like totally unintended, but man, that was perfect placement.
Sure. So unintended.
I think that when you're doing it, it's totally different than subspace. Subspace, I'm in like floating in
La La Land.
La La Land.
like Lilith said, la la la.
I can't think or talk or interact. It was your body was what my focus was, and it was so intense that you're no longer yourself. Like I was no longer in my body. I was focused on yours and trying to get the reactions that I was looking for by mixing it up between soft and hard and thuddy and bitey and all the things. And so my focus was no longer on me. It was totally on you and your world. And so that's how I overheated, because I literally no longer felt my body. It was just all the implements were an extension of my hand. It was amazing. Like it was so amazing to me to be able to do that.
And when you had said that you experienced that, it was kind of extra confirmation for me that I am not a switch and I am not a top, because I've never experienced that. And I don't think that I ever will, just because it's not part of who I am and it's not something that I'm interested in, as much as I've branched out to top for an activity or top for a scene,
Right.
I usually am not the only person. Well, I have once, and I did leave her ass pretty purple after the day
Right.
after. But even her husband was in the corner egging her on and everything, and that was at the club. But I still wasn't in any headspace then, so that was kind of confirmation for you that people have very different experiences
Yes.
when topping for scenes.
Yes.
What is your headspace like in it? Because you do switch, and I've seen you top for impact.
Yeah, it's very much like a rhythm, like you said. Like I see the person, I know what I like as a bottom, and obviously I take into account people's pain levels, like what they want, and I know what what the implements feel like. So you have to like calculate it to their needs and wants, and it's just like a rhythm you get into. Like I see the toys, I know like, ooh, I want to do this. Looks like I went pretty hard there. They may need a little break. Like it just, I could think like flows naturally. Like you said, you can't even like, I like know in my head, I'm like, I want to do this, this, and this. And I'm still very new into topping, but I already feel like I can get to that space. And it's very different, I feel like, so when I top in the dungeon versus tempted. The dungeon definitely puts me in a more toppy headspace because you're around the kink, you're around the other people doing it. And I feel more like, okay, I'm more confident in my skills. I know what I'm doing here. I'm more like in that zone.
And when you're at the club, you're dealing with a lot of people that are not, they're swingers.
Yes.
They're not into the BDSM. So reactions outside or voices outside change and impact the way it occurs.
And at the club, I feel like I'm much more like educational. Like, this is what I do as a bottom. This is what I can, these are what these implements are, blah, blah, blah. Like,
we spend a lot of time educating
yes.
others and introducing them.
Yeah, levels of etiquette too. I've even been about to top for a scene or looking for a bench or something next to Nick's your setup and everything, all the bags, while you're in the middle of a scene. So I didn't want to interrupt, and somebody came over and started rifling through and touching all your things. And that's when they said that they're looking for a whip.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you said a whip or a flogger. And
was-
I
yeah.
can't insert myself in those situations because I will not say nice things. So I just have
I
to.
didn't say nice things that night neither.
But
That was the
it's-
only time somebody's ever pissed me off in a dungeon, and they done
touching
it
all
quick,
of your
fast,
things,
and in a damn hurry.
I can't remember if I tried to grab your attention or not, but your attention very quickly like shifted towards them
Yeah.
because they were right there.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to get into headspace at the club because there are a lot of people coming in and out or
Right.
walking into your backswing, or I'm concerned
Yes.
about this, or I'm concerned about that, or somebody interrupting your scene.
But in a dungeon,
Have someone try and pull your
Tail
plug
plug
out.
out.
that person obviously was kicked out, brought out, kicked
Yeah.
out immediately, no longer a member. But like,
I
who would
yanked-
do that?
This
We
is how
hit-
protective we are. I yanked him off of Lilith by his elbow and said, "Excuse me," and went to grab Dante and somebody else, and they chased him down the stairs. I went
oblivious. I
straight
had
over
no
to
idea what was
Dante and I
happening.
said, "This man is in the bathroom, and this is just what happened, and I don't like it, and I don't like the way that he's touching her."
He shouldn't have touched at all.
No,
like,
no.
at all.
And
It
he was
bad.
asking, "Who are these people to you?" And I said, "That's my partner. Leave her alone."
Right. And he was a single,
Yep.
didn't know anybody
No.
that was in the dungeon, and he just decided to come in and do
Yeah,
what he wanted
that
to do.
is not
Oh,
allowed.
he said this
in
is
case
so
you're
hot.
wondering.
Yeah, he said this is
No.
so hot, right? And I was like, Isn't she gorgeous? I thought we're just making banter. And he said, "Yeah, this and that's really turning me on," and whipped his dick out like 20 seconds into the conversation. And I walked away because I don't. What am I supposed to do?
What do you do? What do you do?
That's not mine.
No. I mean, technically it's allowed, but it's not appropriate
like
for the
It's
situation.
like reading the room. I feel like at the club,
Right.
sometimes people want to come in for the show.
Right.
And like, yes, we
And-
are putting on somewhat of a performance, but like, they don't understand the headspaces. They don't understand the etiquette.
Right, and we're happy to show off. I'm an exhibitionist. I love showing off, but maybe watch from a respectful distance so that we
Right.
can still do our thing and you can do
I
your
just
thing.
say that etiquette, when we did the etiquette that night, everybody was outside the
No,
window.
I couldn't get anybody to come in the damn dungeon that
I did bottom for an impact scene
Yeah.
that night, and we were laughing so much.
night. Yeah. But everybody else that wasn't part of our group, they all stood. I even walked outside. I was like, "Okay, so what are y'all crew? Oh, we're just watching."
You did it
And
several
I'm like,
times.
"Son of a bitch!" No more teaching about etiquette at Club Tempted because nobody wanted to do anything that night. Everybody was.
So
scared.
how
like-
frequently frequently do you guys go to the dungeon?
Which one?
L&K.
I feel like we rotate between the club and kink events. I think we do like 1 or 2 a month each.
Okay.
Each one.
And like it's so you have like the dungeon, the AFK events versus the LNK events. Like we're going to an LNK event later tonight. We mostly go for the AFK events now.
And they're all in the same space, but AFK rents the space from LNK.
And they have the rigs
Yeah,
and
it's
everything.
much more
The
rope
AFK is
centered.
more rope centered. Than,
right. And
than just,
people still do a lot of impact, but they do have more spaces to do rope.
right.
Well,
All right.
And we're at Sloshes every month, and I was teaching the ASL classes
this
for a while.
slosh was
so
amazing, and we're going to talk about that a different time because we want to be able to download on it. But it was a really fun experience. I'm glad you guys were there.
They do a really good job creating like quote unquote vanilla events for kinky people and just building that community. They have several other events that are social like that.
But you can also see the people that are new that came in. You're like, I know you're new.
it's such a good entry event because some rope is happening, but a bunch of kink is not actively happening. So you'll see people in kinky and fetish gear. You'll see people walking around with corsets and collars and all sorts of. I mean, somebody had a cape on last night, and we love him.
We love him.
we love him.
I was highly disappointed when he came here for an interview without his cape. I was like, man,
He let me try his cape on last night, and I did like
and it
a
was
catwalk.
so glittery.
Oh my gosh.
I
Glitter
painted
on
the
everything.
glitter on my
and
face.
outside.
Glitter
Yeah.
on everything. It was awesome.
great.
Yeah.
So, Lilith, what areas of BDSM do you get involved in? What are some of the things?
Well, we talked about impact and rope. I'm creeping my way into pet play. I actually have a scene tonight with another pet. It'll be my first time.
What does a scene mean? What does a scene mean when you're doing a scene that's pet play?
So I will be with another pet. They are a fox, and we are going to do some. It's called like moshing when you like play as pets together. So we're gonna do something like that.
And you have to stay in that headspace, right? You're not supposed to. I mean,
Well, this will be
This will-
Lilith's first
Yes.
scene, so
Yeah,
I think
so-
it's kind of about exploration too,
Yes,
and seeing how you
yes.
feel in it,
and
and
they
in your
and
tail and ear. Are you wearing tail and ears?
Yes, yeah, it's the ones that I wore last weekend.
Yay!
So, but this pet is experienced. They're bringing all their toys, they're very like we've been getting to know each other, and they're like, we just want you to explore your head space and like get there. And I definitely feel like when I'm a cat, so I'm more like not
A cat or a kitty?
a kitty, kitten, whatever you want to call me.
Pussy cat.
Okay, maybe not that.
leave it to the man in the room.
I finally woke up from my nap. I'm feeling pretty good here.
But I'm
Would
much
you
more-
want to be a kitten in a dynamic?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's about figuring out how you're feeling
Yes,
tonight
exactly.
in your scene.
And like I have acrylic nails normally, and like if you noticed last weekend, I was much more.
she scratched me so much. With her ears on, and her nails were all
I'm much
over
more-
me.
I feel
I was
like-
like, "Who is this?"
But
I kinda like it.
Not like extroverted, but like almost like chaotic. Like I have a blind cat.
When are you not? Shut up.
Sometimes I'm okay, but
Sometimes I'm okay.
I have a blind
Rarely,
cat,
when
and I
she's
realized
sleeping, but even
the blind cat I have, I realize I'm like her personality. She's super chill. She like will come and play with you, and when she wants to play, it's like all in. She's like, I'm gonna fuck you up now, and I'm
biting your ears, biting your hair. We were trying to FaceTime and debrief about something the other night, and fucking Lisa.
that's the cat's name. Lisa is literally in my ear going, like trying to bite my ear, eat my hair. But I'm very excited because I feel like when I'm doing like impact on rope, I'm like very go with the flow and very much like more on the quiet side. And with my tails and ears in, I feel like I'm more the opposite. Like I'm more like
Extroverted
yeah,
out
like
there.
yes. So it's a very different.
Because you do a lot of receiving as far as rope and impact, and you're the one
Yes.
being tied or the one being hit.
And you're not doing the activity. So
Exactly.
with the pet
You get
play
to
with the ears and the tail, now you get to interact.
Express
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. I will say that wearing the tail and ears last week, before I purchased mine, I was like, really? I'm going to do this? Really? Because in my my head. I'm older. I'm like, really? I'm gonna do this. But once I had it on, I had so much fun
Yes.
wiggling my tail.
And
I'm
your
just
tail was
saying.
really pretty.
I
It was
loved my
gorgeous.
tail, so I just kept wiggling it, and the positioning of it was perfect, so that it wasn't in my way when I was sitting or walking or whatever, and I really enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. I just felt so pretty with my tail. So,
All right, hold on. So I'm up from my nap.
Okay.
I kind of dozed off there for a little bit, so I think this was a pretty decent episode. But we're going to cut here because we are out of time for this episode.
Man, we have a lot of
And-
bullet points we didn't touch.
And although this episode was supposed to be about AFK Self-tying
We are
summit
not going to
classes,
title that.
It was introduction to the share bears.
Yes.
We call ourselves the share
So,
bears
yes,
because
this will-
sharing is caring.
this is the introduction to Lilith and Mika. And come back next week, and we will officially do the AFK Self-tying summit
Maybe.
I'm not
classes
sorry at all.
because I won't take a nap next time, and I'll just kill everybody's microphone, and we'll have this episode done. So come back next
Thank
week.
you for joining us.
Thank you.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.